man. We got the King of Rio and Jose Aldo coming in at number 5 in the bantamweight rankings. He's a minus 140 favorite against the plus 115 underdog, and number 9 ranked Pedro Munhoz, the young Punisher, man, coming off a nasty leg kick showing against Jimmy Rivera that was a little reminiscent to Jose Aldo versus Uriah Faber, man. Like, leg kicks galore. I think that's definitely going to factor into this match. We got 2 Brazilians. We got the King of Brazil versus a dude who's probably came up watching Jose Aldo like we all did, right? Because believe it or not, Jose Aldo is only 34 years old. It's like this man has been around forever. This dude has 7 consecutive title defenses in the featherweight division. Like, what are we talking about, man? This dude is a killer. Shout out Jose Aldo. You know, much love always. But we got to break down this fight now, AJ. And do you think, I just got to ask you off the bat, Pedro Munhoz, he can't implement that same leg kick strategy against Jimmy Rivera that he did do against Jimmy Rivera against Jose Aldo, right? That can't happen.
I don't know, man. I think it could happen specifically because Jose Aldo has kind of gotten away from the kicks. You know, back in the, like you said, with the Uriah Faber, man, those are some of the nastiest kicks you've watched in a long time, as well as the same thing against Jimmy Rivera with Pedro Munhoz. Very reminiscent of each other. But the thing is, we saw, at least in the Sean O'Malley, I always blank the other opponent's name, Ecuadorian. Chito Vera. You don't want to kick against a kicker. And even when we saw Chito Vera go against Jose Aldo, he completely abandoned the kicks because he knew better. And the one thing you do, and I know for a fact, when you kick somebody in the shin and they check it, you do not want to throw that one again, man. It hurts more than anything else. You know, it hurts just about as much as like you taking a shot to the liver, because you feel that peroneal nerve just get hit and it shuts you down. You do not want to throw it ever again. And I don't know, man. Pedro Munhoz, he's been a little bit more vicious with the kicks as of late, at least, whereas Jose Aldo, that was kind of his style back in the day before everybody figured it out. So can Pedro Munhoz implement that style going forward? I think, yeah, just because he's maybe a little bit more conditioned, at least mentally, for it than Jose Aldo is, and that's an absolute reach of a statement because Jose Aldo can kick with the best of them, and his shin condition is probably top notch, if not even better. They call him the King of Rio for a reason, and he's probably also the king of leg kicks. But I think if Pedro Munhoz wants a little bit of advantage in this one, he's going to have to, you know, gain a little bit of respect from Jose Aldo, and kind of hit him with something that nobody ever thinks to hit Jose Aldo with. What do you think?
Well, I absolutely agree. That is a reach of a statement. Jose Aldo, he can kick with the best of them even today, man. And he's brought some of it back. Some people have asked, right? When he was fighting against Piotr Jan, they're like, yo, what's up with the leg kicks? How come he doesn't do the leg kicks? But he brought him back out against Piotr Jan, right? Until it just kind of didn't really work anymore. So I think it's more situational. I do remember Aldo, he ended up having some type of leg issue from him throwing too many kicks, right? So that's why you got to like lean back off of him. I just think that for Pedro Munhoz, the thing about Jose Aldo is, yes, he's a very, very great boxer, but he's always got those kicks and he's got different styles, man. So he can go the regular leg kick style, and when that's not working, which is, I believe that was in the Jan fight, when Jan started beating his leg up with kicks, Jose Aldo, he said, okay, I'll go Muay Thai style. So he started bringing the leg up for the check, bringing the leg up, and he turned into a Muay Thai fighter. So like, to give that many different looks, man, I mean, you got to be able to be that well-rounded. Who was it that we just saw? TJ Dillashaw, where he was all like, I could be a different fighter every round, you know, and that's that intangible that makes you a champion. And Jose Aldo, I'll just put this out there. He says, oh yeah, after I beat Pedro Munhoz, I'm fighting TJ Dillashaw next. You know, what's up? Let's do it. You know, so it's good. Listen, man, high hopes for the man Jose Aldo, but I'll just say this. When we're talking about experience, we already know who's winning that battle. That's Jose Aldo all day. There's only the 3 losses he has, which makes him look really tough, right? In the last 5, you're like, oh, he lost 3. That's not looking good. Piotr Jan, can we say current bantamweight champion, right? I mean, come on.
People's champ.
The people's champ, Piotr Jan, right? He loses TKO round 5. Good thing this is a 3-round fight, not a 5-round fight, because he did gas out in those championship rounds. Marlon Moraes, he loses a split decision. A lot of people thought Jose Aldo won that fight. So Angela Hill style loss right there. And then the current 145-pound champion, Alexander Volkanovski, you lose to him. But who do you win against in those last 5? Chito Vera, who's on a hell of a run right now, right? You got a big decision win against him. And then Renato Moicano knocked him out in the 2nd round, man. Come on. Pedro Munhoz, listen, man, losses to Frankie Edgar, losses to the current paper champ, Aljamain Sterling, you know what I mean? But besides that, big win over Rivera, big win over Cody Garbrandt, knocked him out, and then Brian Caraway knocked him out TKO round 1. Not the same thing, but Pedro Munhoz, man, I got to say this before I let you take over on this assessment, AJ. He says that he's training for Jose Aldo as if this is a championship matchup. A lot of people are thinking for Jose Aldo, he's saying this is just another fight to get me to where I need to go. So maybe they don't have the same intensity going into the matchup. You know, maybe Jose Aldo is looking ahead a little bit too much, man. How does this fight play out to you, AJ?
Yeah, man, this one's going to be a very interesting striking battle. I don't think either of these guys are going to want to test each other on the ground. At least as far as I'm seeing, I think Pedro Munhoz is going to be able to take the roll back, be on the back foot, kind of go in and then blitz in like he likes to. Whereas Jose Aldo is going to be controlling from the dominant position all the time. We see Jose Aldo. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be throwing as many kicks as he used to. We see that kind of peter in and out with the Petr Yan fight, but I definitely think Jose Aldo is going to be the aggressor in this one. He needs to be able to control the octagon and not let Pedro Munhoz come off and start cracking off like he likes to, because when Pedro Munhoz cracks, man, he hurts. How do you see this one playing out, Derek?
Well, I mean, I see this playing out as a boxing match, believe it or not, man. I definitely think that Jose Aldo and Pedro Munhoz are two of the best boxers in the bantamweight division, but I think that we're going to see a lot of body work. Both of these dudes like to throw to the body. Pedro Munhoz is more of a combo guy, right? So he'll throw these combos with the kicks. I think Jose Aldo has been focused a lot more on his boxing. That's one thing he talked about for this camp, that he's improved so much as a boxer. And if there's one strike you need to watch out for Jose Aldo, it's a left hook to the liver, man. He throws that thing with ferocity, man. It's one of the meanest left hooks to the body you're going to see in this current day and age. I feel like I'm watching a little mini Mike Tyson just, wing those big left hooks in there. But that's what I wanted to ask you now, AJ. In terms of boxing, I'm talking standalone boxing. Let these two get inside and throw on some boxing gloves and some shoes and get it in. Who do you think is a better boxer?
I would have to go with Pedro Munhoz, right? Just off of what I've seen, just Pedro Munhoz kind of, at least with the combos anyway. Like you said, he's a very combo-oriented fighter, and he's able to sit there and pick his shots. Like you said, he hurt Tyron Woodley even after he got hurt. Now, with Jose Aldo going forward and actually getting better as a boxer, it's going to be interesting to see. But off the jump, if I had to choose, I would say Pedro Munhoz. What do you think?
Well, I'll say that when I was talking Tyron, that was Vicente Luque. He's the one that hurt Tyron Woodley. But it's all good. It's all good. No, but I think Pedro Munhoz is a little more technical. I think that he's a little more, he could touch you up, but he doesn't have the power behind it. I think Jose Aldo is the blistering speed with the crazy power behind it. That's the big difference for Aldo, in my opinion, is that when he throws to hurt. Pedro Munhoz will touch you up, and he'll just beat you. But here's the other difference, AJ. Let's just look at his last fight against Jimmy Rivera. You saw Pedro Munhoz's face after the fight, right? If Jimmy Rivera can do that to you, what the hell you think Jose Aldo is going to do to you, man? He's going to hurt you. He's going to make you go to a couple of uncomfortable places right here. And I think the last thing before we can really give a pick on this one, AJ, let's just talk about mentality, right? When you're fighting that dude that you're like, oh shit, I used to watch this dude all the time, and you're in there. Even Sean Strickland, he said it. He was like, it was kind of weird against Uriah Hall because he got to a point in the fight where he's like, yo, like, I'm playing his replays and his highlights in my head and whatnot, but like they got to the point in the fight where he's like, I'm better than this guy, and he's just piecing him up. Just, oh, okay, all right, this is weird, but all right, whatever, So it's like, it depends on how long. This is only a 3-round fight. How long is it going to take for Munhoz to say like, fuck all of the noise, this is not even Jose Aldo in front of me. This is just a body, and I just got to go to work. I think it'll be interesting to see how long that's going to take, but I think he's motivated, man. I think the man is very motivated. When it comes to submission threat, he's a real submission threat, but Jose Aldo has had wicked BJJ since the WEC days, man. Like, there's nothing new. He's a black belt. Who wins this fight, AJ? Got the King of Rio versus a Brazilian phenom in Pedro Munhoz. Who wins and why?
I'm going with the phenom, Derek. I'm going Munhoz by decision. I think this one is another washing machine fight. It's going to be a lot of stand-up, though, which I'm very excited for. Man, I just if Jose Aldo shows up like Jose Aldo of old days, man, it's going to be an absolute war. Because we saw in the Pedro Munhoz fight against Jimmy Rivera, Pedro Munhoz had a lot of opportunity to finish, but didn't necessarily have the crack on his shots in order to put Jimmy Rivera away. Whereas if he does not put Jose Aldo away, man, he's going to be there rounds 1 through rounds 3 and even extra if they needed to go extra, man. Jose Aldo is an absolute killer. But that being said, I think Pedro Munhoz is going to work his way towards a technical decision, outclass the older vet in Jose Aldo, and work towards a unanimous decision win for Pedro Munhoz. Who you got, Derek, and why?
Well, I'll say what's funny is that we all, in all of our minds and our eyes, we say Jose Aldo, this old guy. These dudes are the same age, man. It's crazy. They're both 34 years old. That's what's nutty about this, is that it's like, how is this dude only 34 arguably in the prime of his career after he's already had such a legendary career. He's a legend in MMA right now. Anyways, I see Jose Aldo getting the job done, man. I think that he's going to hit harder when it counts. I think that in terms of volume, I mean, it's honestly true. Pedro Munhoz, he's got a higher output, man. He might be able to piece him up a little bit more, but if you're accounting for damage versus just strike count, I think that Jose Aldo is going to win that battle. And I think come round 3, when those body shots are really adding up and Jose Aldo is still punching like he was in round 1, it's just going to be dangerous for Pedro Munhoz, man. So I'm going with Aldo. I think you can never count out the former champion, especially a champion who now feels revitalized at this new weight class, who says he should have been here all along. It's just, it's dangerous, man. This dude has a very bright future still. Big fan of Pedro Munhoz, the young Punisher. And I will say, I got Aldo via decision because Pedro Munhoz has never been finished, and I don't think Aldo is going to be able to get that one done, man. I think he'll be able to hurt him. I don't think you're going to be able to finish him. So with that being said, man, that is the co-main event. And now we only got